All right. We are live. Hey, guys, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rick Ramirez. I'm also known as Rick's 2 Cents. Thank you for joining our live today for Shop Talk Live with Steve from Steve Makes Everything.
Dale.
Roger from Roger Shop.
Howdy, howdy.
And the man behind the scene, Conrad. He's been away and he is back.
For a little bit, but yeah, thank you.
So it looks like quite a amount of people already in the live. Thank you. They're actually ahead of us going live. Today is a big live for us today. We are giving a laser away. So
sweet.
Steve did brought up something, and offline us talking and said, "Hey, this was supposed to be on our 30th live, and technically there was some technical difficulties on our last live."
Yeah. You left the kitchen and you left us a bunch of clowns in charge of the kitchen last week, so we couldn't make it work.
We'll blame Google on this one. AutoFord was not working, but so technically it's our 29th live because our last one didn't work, but I promised this date would be our giveaway, so I wanted to make good on that, so we don't have any heartburn. But before we get started in the live, I just want to make sure that I say the rules to the giveaway. You have to subscribe to each one of our channels. So let me go ahead and get the banner blowing out. Hold on 1 second. You have to subscribe to each one of our channels. You have to like a video on each channels. You have to comment on video on each channels. And you have to share one video on each one of our channels. Now, if you do that more than once, we appreciate it. But at least one video. And please do it, because I would hate for someone to win and I go and I look on one of our channels and you just didn't do it and you just lose. Okay, so here are the other rules. If you're outside of the continental US, you got to pay the own shipping. So if you're willing to enter and you're willing to pay the shipping, no problem. As long as you're US, the dime's on me. If it's outside of US, dime's on you. So there were some people in last couple lives from Australia and other places saying they'd be willing to pay it for free. So yeah, that's up to you. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And I just want everyone to know it's our typical, and I will not actually say it because the last time I said it, right, then I ended up entering the I ended up
and you won twice
in the competition. Yeah, and I won twice. So it's Shop Talk Live. You have to write Shop Talk Live in the comments. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the restriction. So if you type Shop Talk Live all lowercase 1,000 times, you're entered 1,000 times. It's not gonna actually kick you off. So yeah, so that's it. Shop Talk Live. So if somebody wants to
put that hash code in there too.
Yep, it has to be the pound hash. So let me go ahead and share, and so that everyone can see that we are starting it, and then we will. Can everyone see my screen? All right. So as you can see, it says not checked. Exclude winners when doing multiple drawings. It's unchecked, and we will go ahead and start collecting. Already got one entry. So I will go ahead and minimize that. We won't keep that up the whole entire time, but I will say throughout this whole entire live that go ahead and put in the comments, the Shop Talk Live, and make sure, please, that you do do the requirements. Subscribe to each one of our channels, like at least one video, comment at least one video, and share at least one video. All right, let's get the live started.
They're starting to come in there. So
here they go. Shop Talk Live. Very cool. Hey, and if other lives start coining this, Shop Talk Live, that's us. That's us, all right?
Why? Have you heard rumors?
People copy.
Who do we got in the house tonight? We got Jack's up here, Westerville, Ohio, representing. It's that guy with a laser. It's him. It's that guy.
Very exciting.
Richard back from Phoenix. Oh, of course we got Clayton. He's busily typing Shop Talk Live now, I'm sure, but he's ready to go.
So Clayton is an honorary behind the scenes man. And he does not own a laser, so we are allowing him to enter. And since it's technically all done by StreamYard, we can't cheat, right? It's automatically, so anyone can enter.
That's Conrad, you're saying?
Conrad, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, Conrad.
Yeah, he can only enter once then.
Yeah. Man, look at this. They're coming in. They're coming in. Very cool. Very cool. Keep them going, guys. Keep them going. Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up.
We almost need a separate chat for the.
I give away filming every Saturday. Fun doing giveaways. Very cool, man. Do us a favor. Go ahead and drop a link to your channel in the comments below, so our subscribers, our viewers, can check you out.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Where are we going to start tonight?
So Halloween, right? We talked about that. Most people that are starting to get into lasers, we said that you should get a niche, right? I mean, that's kind of been like that. You hear these questions time and time again, and one of the things, the advice we're giving people is that you should have a niche, and I think that's agreed upon the board, across the board. But the other thing is that besides the niche itself, that there are things that are going to be like temporary, right? Halloween, holidays. So with Halloween coming up, I'm curious in the audience as well as you guys yourselves, what are items that you're going to be making for Halloween?
All those seasonal stuff.
Seasonal stuff, exactly.
How about door hangers?
Nice, I like that.
That's an upcoming video. I haven't edited it yet, and the files for this will be included on that video. You can go in the description. You can download all the files for free.
Nice.
That's my own design. Hopefully nobody will say I copied that, but people like to say I'm copying their designs. But a lot of that's AI, so whatever.
Words in a pond.
They're just pouring in. I love it. I love it, guys. Keep them coming. Copy paste. Copy paste.
Yeah, the Halloween earrings are popular. I did a video on those here recently.
Yep. So it was fun. It was funny that that came up, right? And it wasn't like just because you're a man doesn't mean you can't make jewelry or earrings or women's jewelry. And it was quite a bit of people in the actual audience that own businesses, and they all said it was like a hot seller, right? Not one person said it was a dud.
Half the guys I know wear earrings anyway, so or one at least.
Well, my situation was, since I knew absolutely nothing about earrings, after I made them, I had no idea what them things were called you put on them to mount them, so I had to get the wife involved. So
Nice one.
Oh, there you go. She's made a contribution.
Oh yeah. And I told her, I said, you can come on the live with me. I said, you'd be more than welcome. She says, nope.
There's one of the local guys here, my local club. He does a lot of he takes all the cast offs and all the cut off pieces from other people who are making like cutting boards and breadboards and coochie boards and stuff, and he'll take them to his scroll saw and just start tearing them up and make little jewelry pieces out of it, little hangers and danglers and spinners and whatnot, just all out of scrap pieces that would otherwise,
What I mean by share videos, if you go to one of our YouTube pages, or all of our YouTube pages, I should say, and click it and just share it on your Facebook. Hey, check these guys out. Share it on your social media.
Geez, your bottle, Conrad, was blurred there. I thought maybe they weren't your sponsor or something.
Guys. So
I'm going retro tonight. Got the old hams out there. So
nice.
And as some of my viewers have said, and that when I see one of them in a video, it says, "Oh man, hams, that's righteous." Well, okay.
Wow, righteous.
So I will say the laser's brand spanking new. I did an unboxing video. It's not posted yet. I used it. I tested it, and that was it. So it's not getting a laser that's a hand-me-down or a ton of hours on it. I literally just unboxed it, put it together, proved that it worked, fulfilled my obligation, and I'm giving it away.
Which laser is this?
We can't tell yet. That's all the details we gotta
Oh.
say. We gotta save, right?
I don't even know.
You don't even know. See,
Mystery laser.
Thank you, 3D HP.
it's free 99, so nobody can complain. Nobody can complain. But I do say there's a lot of people who are in our lives that they're watching because they're learning, because they're trying to hit the ground running. And you got to save your pennies, man, because money doesn't grow around trees. So
Thanks, V.
yeah, thank you, V. So idea to be able to just win a free laser gives you somewhere to start. I subscribe to you guys and commented many times, so I'm not eligible because I shared a video.
No, of course you're eligible.
No,
What he's talking about, he doesn't do Facebook, whatever, so he doesn't have a sharing method.
okay. Then just do something else. if you don't have the ability to share because you don't have social media,
set up a robo dialer.
Video. Just comment on more than one video or something.
Yeah. Go knock on your neighbor's door.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just tell them.
Hey guys, and do us a favor while you're watching this live, go and smash that like button. Go ahead and smash that like button. So this is very cool. So I'm happy, man. This is cool. I've been creating these shorts, 5 highlights of every single one of our lives. And it's very interesting. It's cool that the topics that are coming up. And I saw Roger hit one of the topics on that tile laser, tile laser engraving. And so it'll kind of give us some ideas to circle back with, that you're seeing repetitive questions. So very cool.
And I've got another tile laser video that's going to be coming up here soon. It's a custom one, actually, for one of our viewers that he's even on here. So, Steve, I haven't forgot about your tile. I just haven't been able to get to it yet, but it will be a subject of a video. It's a custom one for Steve Haskett. So I see he's online here. So
he just popped in there.
Yep.
Geez, he's got both of us working. Steve, I haven't forgot about your dart box either. I actually have the prototype sitting on my workbench. I've been so busy lately.
The bearded Viking, Daniel, he's a brother of ours, so no flack to say. Just he's in the trades, and he's it is what it is. You got to pay the bills.
Oh, you can always find room in your shop. Just put something else on wheels. That's what I keep doing.
Yeah.
Well, Roger's the one who was first. You told me about hanging your laser. I didn't even think about that.
I hang my D1 Pro extended rail on the wall because I just don't have space for it.
Well, my Ray 5, since I expanded that to 800 by 800 millimeter, it hangs on the wall, but I'm not using it.
Correct.
Yes, you have to comment at least one video. You have to share at least one video, and you have to subscribe to each one of our channels.
Ooh, settings for leather. Well, get yourself some nose plugs.
No, so I was talking to a buddy of mine who's got a P2, and he was cutting leather and said it's vented outside, obviously, but he said he didn't smell anything.
Yeah, you definitely need to have it vented.
Yeah,
leather doesn't smell very good when
like the exhaust fan inside the P2. That thing is like a jet engine. It's almost as loud as one too, but it works really well.
I will be Steve. And Steve always says, why am I lost the words? The test. What is it? Will Lightburn call it?
Do a material test.
Do a material test. Every time people say that, Steve says, do a material test.
Yeah.
Because
it's for your own benefit.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, even if you have the same laser, same material, humidity, condensation, everything in the air, that all makes a huge difference as well.
You can even have 2 lasers of the same brand and the same wattage side by side and end up with different results.
Yeah.
I'm loving this, man. I'm loving all. Look at all the shop talk. They're just coming. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming.
Yeah. I won't complain that it's making it hard to find other comments in the stream.
Oh, I see the L2 24-watt, $239 on eBay. Are they liquidating out?
Most of the answers anymore are the higher powered ones of 30 and 40 watt. Yeah. So they may be discontinuing those as just like a lot of their companies are starting to liquidate their 10-watt models because they're just not popular anymore.
So
we got you, Clayton. Yeah, I don't know what's happening to Acer. They've been really quiet lately. I mean, they're having everything I get from them is a sale of some sort.
Yes. So
I don't know. It could be. I mean, they're owned by Sculpt Fund, somebody else, anyway, and maybe they're consolidating. I don't know.
So I did talk to them and I asked them like, hey, are you guys going to be doing any promotions? Anything upcoming in the end of 2024? Anything coming in 2025? You know, especially during tax season, things like that.
Yeah, 40-watt lasers can be loud. My B1 is loud.
Yeah.
40
Well,
watt.
this is an RF laser, so
Yeah.
It's
You know,
be...
I was surprised with the B1 that the actual cooling fan in the laser is louder than the air assist.
Yes,
Way
it is.
louder.
Yeah, it's loud.
I mean, I have a 6-inch exhaust, and it's quieter than the actual just laser itself. I'm like, why is this thing so loud? But I do have the B1 enclosure, so I basically took down the Ep30 and the B1 has took its place. So I'm retiring the Ep30. I like the Ep30V35 enclosure because it had I can use it as a pass-through. I know we already had this argument once before, right? Class 1, blah blah blah. Yeah. But I did, but I did like the fact that I could pass through. But I think a 40 watt and a 60 watts is probably going to be my. And then I do have the Iker K1, so I like the fact that you can kind of drill down on it. But I think that's going to be my standard diode lasers in my shop.
Yeah, I have. Well, right now I still have my WeCreate 40 watt on the bench, but I'm probably going to move it off because Acmer has finally sent me the P3 48 watt.
48 watt? Laser. That's a weird number. 48 watt?
Yeah. I don't know why it's, I guess, 8 diodes, 6 times 8, 48. Right?
That's why I said that's a weird number. They just wanted to one up the 48.
Yeah, probably. But that should arrive in the next, probably the next week, or I think the 20th. It's going to arrive.
It's very cool. A lot of people.
So that one, I actually sent them a message because they said they were going to send it to me by the end of June. And I'm looking like, oh yeah, they were going to send me something. It's now the middle of August. So I sent them a message and they said, oh yeah, we're actually just shipping them now. I don't know if they ran into production problems or something, but
Richard Cross it very depends on the leather thickness. I used to do a lot of thin leather CO2s, and I found the settings by doing 1/2-inch small circles.
Yep.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah. You don't waste as much material and you get the same result.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what I like too is that, like, if you're doing hat patches or you're doing any type of patching or anything like that, I like these like JDS, that they will actually sell like you big sheets of it, so you can cut it up and do these testings and you're not actually wasting your patches. You know, you can just do material, literally just use it for material tests. It's very cool.
Thanks, Stephen.
You know, Steve.
Now I need to go back and find out what Marilyn's good idea was. Where did it go? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, that was one I just read.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm sifting through the ShopTalkLive.
Or get them flooded. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. No one's hating. Remember, every time you type it is an entry, so just copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. At this point in time, we're not mad at you. Just do it, and we're not gonna lie. This helps us our algorithm as well.
So my quest to get a workable 60 watt fiber laser to review is continuing. The comm marker guys never got back to me on the B6 that was dead on arrival. I just said send me another one, and they haven't responded, so I don't know what happened to them. But OM Tech sent me a message the other day, and I said, sure, I'm happy to work with you guys because they make good stuff.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, this is fantastic. Here's a contract." It's like, yeah,
Yep.
sorry, I'm not doing a contract.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tech is the one that these guys behind me, I beat their 6-figure Google ad campaign
Yeah.
in 5 videos. And sorry guys.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems to be so. The last 3 companies I've talked to, they all want to do contracts, and it's like, okay, I'm not working for you. I'm working for the people who watch my channel, right? If you
Yeah,
want
so,
me to convey a message to them, I'm happy to do that.
right. So
And I don't know.
so early on, we said in these lives that what is the purpose of us doing these lives? We're not up here because like we like hearing our own voice talk, right? Because there are people that do like that, right? And we're very opinionated. I would say that we lock our horns on certain things when we think that they need to be said. And so what I mean by that is that people said, how is it every laser that they do review, they hit the magic button, all of a sudden the actual laser itself works perfect, right? And if I watch the reason we're on this live together is because I've subscribed to your channels, right? And there's never a time where that you say everything is perfect. As long as there's more benefits, there's more pros and cons, then it's a good product, and nothing is flawless, right? I mean, I can only speak on myself and say that if you see a review, a lot of times you see me going through these requests that the manufacturers make. It's because I have to, right? That's part of the deal. But at the end of the day, once all that's out the way, the fun part comes actually making stuff with it, right? I mean, it's not really fun doing a review.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I was probably before I started a YouTube channel, I was probably like a lot of people going, "Oh, this is fantastic! You got a bunch of free stuff, and you don't really have to do anything." It's like I would so much rather be doing project work than reviews.
Yeah,
But it is, it's an important, I think, part of the YouTuber's job, right? Is to bring the tools that you use to people, right? So but I mean, if you have a YouTube channel and you're listening here, don't sign contracts, because it like for me, it locks you in. Like you can't really say bad things about them. If you think their product is terrible, you can't say that. And the contract is basically beneficial for them, not for you.
right.
There's
And
way more downside for you as the person doing the review. So it's just not worth it.
And there's been some pretty heavy influential influencers that have been sued lately.
Yes.
And they've been publicizing it. Like, now I'm talking like the top 8 being sued by manufacturers. So that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I would love to be like a Marcus Brownlee guy who has like 16 million subscribers, but I don't want to be somebody like him who has to have a lawyer on staff.
The other thing I won't do is if they say, well, I need to see the video before you post it. No, don't work that way. No. I'll post a video and I'll share it with you, and this is the way it's going to be. And I don't do contracts either.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm waiting to hear back from OM Tech. Hopefully they come back, but like I said, the last 3, it just seems to be some recent trend. It's like, oh, we got to have contracts. It's like, well, fine, I don't have to do reviews, right? I don't.
No,
it's not my thing.
I didn't publicly say it, but I told you guys I turned down one of the biggest contracts I've ever turned down, and and it was because of that. But you guys warned me early on, and I'm not saying other names, that a channel kind of got buried because they were bounded by contracts and saying like they can't come out with new content. And sometimes it's hard to walk away, but there's an old saying, when something's too good to be true, it is.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few YouTubers who've signed like ambassador deals with products, and it's like you're doomed at that point, right? It's just like
so
you can only talk about their product. And
surprisingly enough, they were not concerned about any lasers that I had deals with, like these 2 guys behind me. They were directly from China. They were only concerned about US rebranded lasers. Yeah. And I think it was because they didn't want to go to head with those guys, because then the day they know that's where they're getting it from. So it was like a compromise, right? But yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, well, the thing, not to dive too deep into the details of a contract, but the thing that OM Tech did was they put a clause in there that said the video, once it's done, belongs to them. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, no, because I like to pull snippets of videos for other things to have conversations like here, right? And
yeah,
and I, even if I'm saying good things about them, technically I'm violating that contract, and I just got no time for that.
yeah, just as we were saying, like we're not trying to be sued.
Yeah, and like I said, I flat out told more than one vendor, I don't work for you, I work for viewers.
Yeah, sorry, Eon Laser, I had to pass up on that opportunity. If Eon Laser said to me, "Hey Rick, we're gonna send you a UV laser, and we want you to do a comparison," Eon Laser said, "Hey, they want to send me a CO2 laser, and you just want to be an honest review," like, I'm game. But if you tell me, like, for the next 3.5 years I can't review another laser, then what the hell am I gonna do? Like, I'm not saying I don't do, like, my channel is not just lasers. My channel is like side hustles and tools. It's like if the Tool of Two Man Taylor had a channel, he'd be my sidekick. You know what I mean? But I would have to like reshift and regear my channel, because of that. And unless you're gonna make me an employee, like, you want to give me a 6.5-figure salary and be like, "Hey, you're just gonna work for us and be a marketing director," that's a whole different story.
Uh-oh, V's getting sleepy. What can we do?
I got to bail.
All right, V. Sorry,
Oh,
too
no,
much.
we lost
too much
Roger.
YouTube talk.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you for your time.
Conrad.
Hey, so just so you guys know, like a good amount of the people in the audience here are influencers as well, YouTubers as well. So we get a ton of emails, and offline we share those emails at times with each other as feedback. So if we're hitting other things, it's because that's why. So there's different parts of this. Being an influencer, being a business owner. At the end of the day, YouTube is owned by Google, right? So, like, if you are advertising, YouTube is great. It doesn't mean you're an influencer, whether you're a bakery shop, a singer, whether you're a woodworker, whatever. YouTube is a great avenue to advertise your business. And I always say too, like, if I was to say, going forward, I'm never going to post another video on YouTube, I'm going to post it on my own website. I'm going to go to GoDaddy. The amount of money that I would pay to be able to host, because video files are huge, would be crazy. So YouTube, like, doesn't matter. You don't have to be an influencer to be a YouTuber. If you own a bakery shop, you own a wood shop, whatever, just making YouTube videos is a great way to advertise your company, period. You don't have to be an influencer to be on YouTube.
Yep.
This is an
And there are
interesting question here.
lots of marketing companies that will help you if that's what you do, right? If you build a product and then you do videos on YouTube, there are people out there who will help you.
Interesting question there on how a price or work or projects to sell. Start for very basic. You got to know what you got materials, so you got to figure that. Then you need to figure out your time. What's your time worth? And then if you're going to do shipping, I'm going to throw a picture up here. These are candy boards for beehives. We make close to 1,000 of these a year. We sell for $45 a piece.
Mitch.
But I know what my costs are in them, and I know what it costs to ship them, and that's how I price it accordingly, and it is very profitable. Give you another example. Of course, this isn't laser related, but I'm going to show you a tumbler here. We do these tumblers. 20-ounce tumblers are sublimated, come with a stainless steel straw and a brush. They sell for $20. The wholesale's for $10. What it costs me to make it, about $5. So you don't price yourself so that you're doing stuff for free. You got to make a profit at it, or it just becomes an annoying job.
Yeah, and to some degree, the pricing depends on your business model too, right? If you're doing volume, like Roger does volume for the most part, you can generally sell for less because you're going to sell more of them. I don't do volume. I don't do craft fairs or any of those kinds of things. I make one of everything. And so the price model is a bit different. I've done a video, at least one video on pricing. I'm sure, Roger, you have some too.
Yeah.
Just look in our video backlogs and you'll find some. I think most of those, if I've done them, will be in. I have a playlist for business, the business side of things. Look in there and you'll probably find one. But again, it's basically an estimator that I do, and because I know I'm only ever going to make one of something.
So another thing, if you're going to be doing volume like I do, and I do volume in a lot of things, is I don't make one at a time. You know, like so this week we made 120 candy boards, and it's all a process. And I actually have a video of how I mass produce these things on my channel, and it's not making one at a time. I mean, I cut things and they're just flying through that saw, and it's all set up, and they just dump off on the other side in the tubs. Then when everything's together, then the thing gets assembled. They all get assembled at the same time. They all get sanded, and they all get painted. It's no one at a time thing.
Yeah.
So the point is that niche, and then seasonal items, right? So niche, seasonal items. So it doesn't necessarily mean that one is favorable than the other. It's just you following your niche, and it's a passion, something you're into, you know, and something that's also, you know, Roger lives near the water. So if he was to make things that have to do with funny door hangers or things, you know, what he sells may not sell near me. What Steve sells may not sell near me. So you're not always looking at someone and trying to mimic or copy their idea. Just create an idea of your own and stick a niche. My niche is memorial. So like I'm with Steve, like I don't make mass productions of something because, you know, I'm making someone who passed away in a memorial. I charge a premium price, I say, for a premium product, you know, but I do pump out like you know, I do pump out, you know, volume when it comes to those seasonal items. You know, I'm going to do a ton of those Halloween jack-o'-lanterns, you know, but it's a seasonal item for me.
Yeah. And you have to be willing to ship things too. I mean, almost nothing I make sells near me. So I ship worldwide. I've shipped everywhere pretty much.
We do too. We ship on non-agricultural items. We ship all over the world. So it's just a couple of exceptions. Singapore is one of them. Don't ship Singapore.
So if you go on Facebook or you go on YouTube and you type woodworking smalls or smalls, one things that everyone says it sells, and they're like preaching is birdhouses. And man, I don't know if I just had bad luck, but I even commented like, dude, I made some like pretty intricate, like cool looking, in my opinion, pretty cool looking birdhouses, and they just didn't sell. So locally, and I say locally because I have a decent following in my area. I can pretty much make around 300 of something and post it on Facebook, and it's gone in 3 days.
Now that's a February project for us as Birdhouse. We make a whole mass of them and then ship them off in the spring. It's a
spring.
Pretty good little niche.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to Willow Tree's question here. For
right.
he disappeared. Well, I
just got a YouTube partnership. Thought on doing memberships. Any of you do memberships?
I don't.
So congratulations on the YouTube partnership. I do memberships. Not for like major profit. I think like my membership is like $2 a month or something. But it's really just to support my website so I can keep designs and stuff posted there for members.
I don't. The reason being because my schedule is so jacked up that I wouldn't be able to put special content out for members. That's the only reason I don't do it.
So I just started members, and the reason I started members is because that I've been getting requests to share my files. So I think I'm going to give them free to all my members. I've also been asked if I could do coaching or give advice for other YouTubers. So I put in that. But yeah.
Yeah, it takes a while to get your subscriber. I'm reading this question here. Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, it's so I don't know how you guys got going, but when I was kind of lucky that The second video I did hit like 100,000 views, and that was kind of what set it off. But it still took me months to get to monetization. Now they've lowered some of the monetization requirements, so you can get there sooner. But it started with literally one person, and it ballooned up. Like the next day it was 2, the day after that it was 4, and it just grew pretty quickly.
My growth has been from Facebook. I'm in the top 5% of influencers on Facebook. Facebook gave me an award. So, and the reason they're doing that is because engagement. So,
yeah,
when I first started doing the lasers, we talked about this all the time. I got like, wow, I would say attacked is an understatement on woodworking groups, right? But when I did a search for laser engraving, all of a sudden I was welcomed. But woodworking groups are not very friendly when it comes to lasers. I would just say that. So if you
have to speak a different language when you're on the woodworking group. It's the same with CNC versus lasers or any of those things versus the tool guys, right? It's just, everybody thinks you're making candy for bees.
Oh no, it is candy. It's a mixture of sugar and honeybee healthy and vinegar and a few other magical things. What candy boards are, and I'll put another picture up here so you can kind of see what they look like when they're finished. These sit on top of a beehive during the winter. And within that beehive candy board is a very hard sugar mixture, which they call bee candy. And if the bees run out of their food, which would be their honey stores, that's an emergency feed so that you do not lose your hive over the winter. That's
cool.
what candy boards are.
Very cool. Niche, people. Niche.
So another question there, Rick, if you could bring that up about if I get an order for 150 tumblers to engrave from a company picnic, do I pay out of pocket up front or does the customer buy them first? I get 50% down. That covers my costs.
I don't do nothing
on big orders.
100%.
Yeah,
on big orders like that, 50% down.
Yeah, for one-off stuff, I usually do a front
100%.
payment of something. Usually it's 50%.
I make them pay 100% upfront. I've been burned.
You're a hard ass, man.
No, you don't know. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, I'm reputable, right? Like, you're coming to my house to pick it up. I'm not running anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not willing to pay me 100%, you know where I live. Like, I run a home-based business. Here's my house address. You know, I live in Oswego, Illinois. Here you go. Here's my address. So I'm not hiding from you. I'm not dodging you. I'm not going to rob you. I'm not going to rip you off. But there's a good chance that you could do the opposite. And I tell them flat out that way. And when I tell them that, we're like, oh, all right, cool, bro. I get it. You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to do with 100 something? You know, I make 300 t-shirts or I make 300 something and you just, it's not something, it's unique to you. It's your logo. It's your, I can't sell this, you know? But to each his own.
A lot of the people I do watch bands for corporate stuff, they'll send the watch bands to me. So they've already paid for them.
Yeah,
so
they have some skin in the game at least. You know what I mean?
So it's just me doing the engraving.
Right. Yeah, and that I get. That I get. They have some skin in the game, but you know.
My favorite way to sublimate tumblers, I use tumbler press. I've got one from Heat Press Nation that'll do mugs, it'll do shot glasses, the 20-ounce tumblers, 30-ounce tumblers, and some other stuff that I haven't used yet. But it'll also do tapered tumblers if you happen to be into that. And
if somebody wants to do something Heat Press, let me know. I'm a Heat Press Nation affiliate. I can give you some codes to save some cash if you need to.
My big heat press is also from Heat Press Nation. I have some smaller ones from like Tussie and Vivor, but my big one is 16 by 20 is from Heat Press Nation Signature Series.
And that just says something to kind of put it out there. Not that we're like, and we don't ever do that. We don't ever spam our subscribers like, hey, or whatever. But obviously, we have connections with a majority of the manufacturers. If you guys ever want to purchase something, it's probably a good idea to email and say, hey guys, you guys got any promo codes, discounts, affiliates? You know, and if we do 100%, we hook you guys up. So ask, because 10% on something that's, you know, $2,000 is a lot.
Yeah.
It
You know?
adds up quick. Yeah.
So just ask, you know, we could be pumping and dumping all these affiliate codes, but we don't, you know, because we don't want to be we don't want that to be misled in any sort of way. But
yeah. I mean, I put affiliate codes in there, but it's for stuff I use, right? It's not
Right.
like here's a million affiliate codes. Click on one of these and play the lottery for me, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Not during our lives. We're not like boom, boom.
Oh
boom,
yeah,
boom,
during
you know?
lives. No, this is like
No.
the ad-free zone, right?
Right.
So Logan, thanks, Logan. Logan likes us. That's good.
Thank you.
I
Logan.
like me too. I like you guys.
If you do need a bigger press, let me know. I can Heat Press Nation. I got some hookups on some heat presses. Send me an email.
Yeah, and to throw another thing in, I'm not sponsored by Heat Press Nation at all. I bought my Signature Series press along with my tumbler press directly. But they have very, very good products. And if you have any kind of problems, contact them and they'll be right back to you. They have excellent customer support.
Yeah, they're a reputable company.
That guy with the laser, he's spamming. That's good.
If you have one piece of advice from starting a laser company, what would it be?
Start.
Find a niche.
Make sure your wife approves.
No, I would say that start where you can afford. And what I mean by that is don't keep up with the Joneses. Like you go on YouTube and you see somebody with a 40-watt laser, you know, this big giant CO2 laser. Just get in where you fit in, man. If you can only afford a 10-watt laser, guess what? There's something to be made with a 10-watt laser. If you can afford a 30-watt laser, you know, we always say, people ask us, the number one question that we get asked is, what laser should we buy? Right? And there's a whole slew of questions go along with that. But I think mutually we all kind of agree that 20 watt is kind of the sweet spot, right? And you can go up or down from that. But if you had a 20 watt, you can do a whole lot, right? So like if you're just jumping in the game, if you can afford a 20 watt, there's a lot you can do. But now you go into different things like diode, CO2, fiber. You know, that's like going down that rabbit hole. But my advice would just be, and another thing we say is that your first laser is going to be the wrong laser. The second laser or the third laser might be the right one. And it's because you have these ideas, what you want to create, what you want to make. And as you start learning, you're like, you might turn a different direction. And that's okay.
Your first laser, certainly not your last laser. That's safe to say.
Especially if you get into a business that kind of just kicks off and you can't get everything done on one laser, and pretty soon you need to run 2 of them at once and then 3 of them at once. Kind of like 3D printers like I have behind me. I started out with 1. Now I've got 12.
Go, Roger. So if you have 1, it means you have none, right? Because at the end of the day, if you have 1 laser, you can't do a job that's going to take hours on end, and that's it. Your business is shut down. Or if it breaks down, you're out of business.
Right.
So.
Oh, there you go. If your wife approves, then go for the biggest, baddest one you could get.
My wife did not approve.
No, mine didn't either, Randy. She says, what in the hell are you going to do with all these lasers? Now it's a different story because we're taking all these trips to Mexico. I said, this is why I got all them lasers.
See, the way I did it was, this is my workshop. Don't go in there. You'll trip over something.
I keep saying I'm going to remake that meme. It's this Mexican guy, and he's like, they gave it to me. They gave it to me.
Yes, here's some good advice too. Yeah, don't immediately buy a laser and quit your job.
Yeah, definitely not. Of course, I was already retired when I kind of got into this, and then the laser business part of it was kind of by accident. It's, you know, people like, especially one of the shops here says, wow, you know, can you make me a bunch of those? And they happen to be unicorns. But yeah, I can make you a bunch of those. Well, now it's a monthly thing. I'm making a batch of clear acrylic unicorns every month for this shop. And then they just branched out from there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Too late for Brandon. He quit his job.
No, and you know what's funny though? People say too, like, hey, you know, if you're so successful at doing this, you know, why isn't it your first gig? And I tell people, I'm not bragging, but like I make a decent living. So like to replace my full-time gig, it has to be doing really damn good, you know. And I'm not saying eventually like that wouldn't be cool, but I ain't there yet. And at the same token, I kind of like having this separate because if I go buy something ridiculous, I can't hear my wife say anything like, "Hey, you gave my whole check. Here's the whole check with the whole bills." So if I go buy a side by side, and I've been looking, nobody can complain because that's from this, you know. But yeah. So I want a 4-seater side by side twin turbo.
And one of the nice things with these side hustles is gives you a little extra cash, and you can buy them toys you've always wanted.
Yep. Yeah, and justify it because at the end of the day, like as a man, and I'm saying as a woman, but I'm just saying as a man, you feel like obligated to provide for your family, right? And if you're taking things and you're buying things for yourself, you kind of have a guilt, right? At least I do, because you should be providing for your family and you're taking away from your family. But it's when it's a side hustle, the guilty pleasure is a little easier to pill to swallow. You're like, hey, that's my money.
Then if you can justify it as it's going to be part of the business, it's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Roger, how many vacations have you taken this year because of the laser business?
In January, we were in Mexico for 2 weeks, and July we're there for a week, and next week we'll be there for a week. First week of November we'll be there for a week. The first 2 weeks of December we'll be there, and then the first 2 weeks of January.
Are you listening to this?
And he's making money because he goes to Mexico in July just for fun.
Are you listening to this? Are you listening to this?
And this side business pays for every bit of it, and we fly first class. So of course, I got spoiled with first class, but yes, the business pays for it all. Not that I can write it off. I like to be able to, but we make with this side business pays for it all.
But listen to that. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So you got kids going to college. You're up to your eyeballs in debt, So all these products that we review, if you didn't pay off in 90 days, you shouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
If you didn't pay it off in 90 days, you shouldn't buy it. And there's no reason you can't pay it off in 90 days. And I'm only saying pay it off in 90 days because not everybody has the opportunity to just pay for it. So sometimes you got to finance it.
So Roger, you can write one trip off if you form a company, like if you have an actual company, you can have your board of directors meeting in Mexico.
Well, I'm the CEO and my wife is the
CFO.
CFO. So yeah, I guess so. And I guess I do live streams from Mexico, so that's a business expense.
Oh, that trip, yeah. So the one you're going next week, you can write that one off because you're going to do a live stream.
You know what? I didn't even. It's funny that we got asked. Like, man, I want to say like in our 8th or 9th live, and I kind of just didn't go down the rabbit hole because I wasn't sure what's going to go. And here we are, 30 lives later, that us actually going live on like the Apple Talk podcast or those type of podcasts. So I don't know, man. I think we're doing all right. We might have to pursue that road.
See, most importantly, it's fun. I actually enjoy Wednesday nights.
No, I do absolutely. And you know what? It was different too from us switching from Fridays to Wednesdays because happy hump day, as we say.
Yeah,
it's like a
decompressing. The only thing I find on Wednesdays, it's not really a complaint, but it just makes the week go so fast, and it's like I got stuff to do, and it's already Friday, and it's like what the heck happened?
Yes. But you know what's funny is that actually offline I talk about you guys. One of like the a big wig in the company that I work for. Maybe he's watching, maybe he's not. But we have these company gatherings. It's funny. There'll be like hundreds of people, and then you have to say something personal. And he always introduces everybody, and he says something we know about Rick is he's an influencer, and he brings up every single time, and he tells me, Rick, when are you gonna quit? And I'm like, man, what are you talking about? Why are you always trying to get me to quit? And he says, I keep watching you growing. I keep watching you growing. At some point, you're gonna quit because you're gonna be a successful influencer. And what's just crazy is that going to the bathroom at my job, another guy stops me and he was like, hey man, what's going on, dude? You're Rick's 2 cents, and then another person from the East Coast, his wife owns an apparel company. So just know it doesn't matter what you do for a living, like your full-time gig. There's a whole lot of people that you may interact with that have passions that you're not even aware of because they just kind of keep professional. They kind of keep that under the radar. And when people learn that you're interested in something, you may you may be surprised on how you're level playing field with somebody, or be able to connect with somebody that maybe you didn't have something before.
So we need to answer this question, Rick, before laser, the guy with the laser, goes to work.
I do have to be in the chat if I win, if I go to my day job. Yes, 7:30. You got 10 minutes.
Hang on, man. It's worth
10
getting
minutes.
fired for.
Here's the thing, man. You can be on your phone. You don't have to stare at the screen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Travel Channel. I actually had thought, I've done a couple videos from Playa del Carmen, Mexico, but I never thought of making it an actual channel. I have 3 channels now, but I don't need a 4th one.
I've thought about making another channel that just does reviews of other stuff, but right now I have no time to even do videos on my own channel. So
that's why it's me trying to keep up with 3 of them, and one of them I haven't posted anything on it in over a year. So
yeah, I've always wanted to do 2 videos a week, and lately it's been 1 video every week and a half.
Yeah, I'm running into that too this time of year. Of course, once we get into winter, I'll have more time, and I can crack out 3 or 4 a week and just stack them up.
So you Facebook, I was doing Fat Boy Status, hashtag Fat Boy Status, and it was just food. I go to a restaurant and I'd eat.
I've got a good answer to this question, and I do this frequently. My granddaughter goes to craft shows, and I supply some of the stuff she takes with her, whether it be a pop-up show or a scheduled show. And I will walk around. I don't display, and I don't want to go through that hassle. I'll let her do that. But I will walk around to see what people are buying and how much people are selling whatever for. And that's where I get a lot of my ideas and how I then market my products.
Hey, I just want to equate something, because there's a lot of different people. A lot of people I see in the comments. I just want to make sure that if you're unaware at this actual live that we are on, we're giving away a free laser. So if you want to actually enter that, make sure you subscribe to all of our channels. That's why you see in the ticker below our channels. Make sure you share one video from each one of our channels. Make sure that you comment at least one of our channels. Comment at least one of our videos, and you'll be entered. So if you are in the United States, I pay the shipping. Outside of US, you enter, you pay the shipping. How do you enter? You have to enter the hashtag. Let me share somebody's comments so that I don't write it and get accidentally entered. If you write in the comments, hashtag ShopTalkLive, you will be automatically entered. The drawing ends at 7:30. We got 8 minutes left for the drawing. And you can put Shop Talk Live as many times as you want. So it's 1,000 times, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Go for it. All right, guys, back to live.
Willow Tree is accusing me of watching. There was this old terrible show in the 70s called the Beachcombers. It was a bunch of guys who went around and found like old deadhead logs out in the Pacific and on the Pacific coast. No, this is way more fun than that. That was a terrible show.
Okay. How many people remember watching TV when it all of a sudden went? There was no more TV.
The test
after MASH, there was no TV. It was just like a little thing. That was it. TV used to end. TV wasn't 24 hours.
Yeah, well, now it's 1,000 channels, 24 hours a day.
Roger, am I right?
And about 900 of those are marketing something to you.
Yeah.
QVC type channels.
Here we got Bob's World. Hey, I don't recognize that moniker.
Okay.
Are you new, Bob? Were you here last week? No, not last week, because we didn't do last week. We screwed up.
Google failed us.
Well, thank you, Steve.
Yeah, I'd like to blame Google. I'm telling you,
guys,
you just left a bunch of doofuses running the show.
No, I mean, you set up. I mean, come on, you set up auto forwarding. It's a pretty simple task.
I started the chat and it said enter the 6-digit code that got mailed to you, and I couldn't get to the mail.
Hey, Steve, if you're listening there, it's Shop Talk Live, not Shop Time Live.
Oh, slammed. Look at that.
It's like this one right here, Shop Talk Live. We have coined ourselves the Shop Talk Live, and the reason we Shop Talk Live is because we're lasers.
Tim's pretty confident he's going to win.
Okay, there you go. Alrighty, we got 5 minutes left, guys. 5 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes left. Get entered. Get entered. Get entered.
That's a reference to the Beachcombers. I think it started in the 70s though, like 77 or something. It was a horrible show.
Hey, Jack, no space between Shop Talk Live, just like this.
One word.
Don't want you to miss the opportunity. Don't want you to miss it.
Especially if you're going to do all that typing. Uh-oh.
Now, just remember, you can copy and paste it, but you can't copy and paste it in the same comment. Just do 10 comments, 100 comments. It don't matter. Every time you enter, we have an option to be able to turn that off so that it doesn't matter how many times you type it. It only gives you one entry, but we actually gave the opportunity to have more than one entry.
Do you live on the West Coast, Bob? Like near Gibson's Harbor, Gibson's Landing, I guess it's called in real life. What
about Bobby's World? Remember that cartoon?
Yes. Done by what's his name? Howard. What's his name?
What they Canadian? Because she sounded like she was Canadian.
He's a Canadian guy, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Shout out.
Howie Mandel, that's him.
Yeah, there you go.
Was the voice for Bobby.
Yeah, gotta get that space out of that.
Gotta remove the space.
No space.
Howie Mandel.
Yeah. Roger, hearing video came up. I was assembling the exact set for my Etsy shop.
I will say the little set I did with the little coffins with the 2 earrings and the pendant. Of course, my wife paints them because my hands aren't steady, but or unless I use an airbrush. But those actually became pretty popular just by accident, and my granddaughter sold quite a few sets of those.
So another thing we also talked about is to contact local companies within your area. You'd be surprised. Like I sell stuff at detail shops, body shops, craft store shops, a Mexican store that has a Mexican restaurant that has a little store in the front. So don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the tip I always give is if you want to do laser engraving on like dollar store cutting boards, target real estate agents. They love giving that kind of stuff out when they sell a house, right? And you can make some money from a real estate agent because they're going to make 20 grand off the house selling a house. So if you charge them $10 for a $5 cutting board, they're not going to complain.
And one thing you can do with those cutting boards, and I've done a few of those for one real estate agent here, put their logo on one side and do a kitchen equivalent engravings on the other side.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm guilty of this. Now I'll admit it. Okay, I buy the IKEA cutting board.
Yeah.
And then I laser engrave it. And and I'm saying that because the woodworkers are going to butcher me and say that's not woodworking. I didn't say it was. I'm just saying I could buy it for like $8 and sell it for $45, $60. You know what I mean?
And it's one of the few things you could get from IKEA you don't have to assemble.
Still comes with a bag of extra screws, though, just in case.
What are these screws for? Just going to mount it to a wall.
Yeah, I did a video, I don't know, 6-8 months ago about some things you can make, and one of them in one of those videos was a dollar store cutting board, and it had the conversion on one side. You can put anything you want on the other side, but take a look at that. And I think if you're a member of my channel, you can just download that equivalent from the website.
I have that on my channel too, where probably a little bit different design.
1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Flood the comments if you want to win. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Pile them in there. Let's go. Oh, John started late, but he's making a big push.
There you go. Control C, Control V. Control C, Control V. Right. You can still copy paste on a phone.
Oh, it's not easy though.
No, it's a pain in the rear, but yeah, it can be done.
You just click over it and highlight it so it's copy, and then just hit paste.
If I had time to do an AI image, I'd have Logan sitting on the edge of his seat. He's ready to go.
Steven's ready. Steven's ready.
Yeah.
I would say I would kind of be happy. I'm not being biased because obviously, but Steve's are pretty loyal subscribers to all of us. So
Yeah.
Okay, time for the big draw.
1 minute. Oh, we just hit it. You guys ready? Let me share my screen, and we
Do
will...
it. Time's up.
All right, guys.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so here we go. I hope you can see my screen. I didn't say it before I hit it.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And hey.
Ooh, okay. And I will not close it because you have to be here.
Now wasn't 3D HP? Didn't he say he was leaving to go to work?
3D HP, are you with us, brother? Come on. I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
Hang on, everybody.
If that was him, I told him to join on his phone, so that way that he could still.
Don't congratulate him yet, Marilyn. He may not be here, so there's still a shot.
3D HP, come on, man. We're trying to give you a free laser. Are you there? Are you there? Are your ears on?
He's not here.
Let's give him 2 minutes. It's 7:31. Let's give him the 7:33, just in case he's moving around, farting around with his. He said a redraw if I would.
that's what I would say too.
Oh man, no shame in this game. All right, we got 1 minute. Got 2 minutes to go. See if it's.
Apparently 47,000 entries wasn't enough to win. No 3D HP.
Come on, 3D HP. You got 2 minutes left.
Type something.
We're trying to give you
yeah, redraw. It's 8:30.
1 minute left.
7:32 for you guys right now.
7:32. Got 1 minute left, and we're gonna redraw.
Clayton called it. He said, "Let's go."
1 minute left. 1 minute left.
Yeah,
that's not how it works.
Must be present to win. Must be present to win.
Bob is being sympathetic. You can see he must be Canadian. He's so polite.
And just so you know, this is not our first giveaway. Roger did the first. So this is our second giveaway, guys.
Yeah. I did one on my own channel, but I got to talk to some vendors to see if we can do giveaways on here on a regular basis.
What does it say? Round 2, finish him. 1 minute left. Have you guys engraved?
Yes.
Yes, I've done that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to get the settings right, but it comes out all right.
Time's up, guys. Let me share my screen.
Check out Vintari's channel. He did a really nice one of a bunch of people sitting around a campfire.
Again.
Here we go.
He must have
Holy
entered
cow.
a lot. He must have entered a lot. Let me do it again.
The deck is stacked.
Here we go. Doug Stevens.
There you go.
Doug Stevens, are you in the building?
Come on, Doug. Type.
Come on, Dougie Doug. Steve said raped.
Yeah.
The
fix is in.
Before we found out this app, we used to just do this scroll, right? That was our thing. It was just scroll and boop. Oh, here we go. Steve says, "Here I'm
He's
here."
There, yes. Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
Stop. Okay, you do it. Anyway, he's here. He's here.
I'm here. All right, Steve.
There he is.
So you are a proud owner of a. Let me go ahead and grab the laser for you so that you can see what you've won today.
You don't have a picture to post?
Oh, I'm grabbing the lasers put together. Why do I want to let them see the real deal? Not
a picture right up here on the screen, man.
Oh man, I'm gonna grab laser. I got it right here. Hold on a
You
second.
know, you win a new car, you always see the car.
Here is your manual.
The O'Farrow.
O'Farrow.
Is that an LM2 or 3?
So probably the LM2 because I.
Yep.
Yeah.
And here is your brand new laser. Bam! How do you like that?
Get started.
Get started. So here you go.
Congrats. Everybody's blowing horns now.
I'm super excited. Thank you. You know, but let me go ahead and send you my email address so that you can send me your info, and I can get this mailed off to you. Whoops.
Oh, sorry. Did I make something
Yeah,
disappear?
just give him a second.
Oh,
Do me a favor and go ahead and send me an email at rick.ramirez@rickstwocents.com with your name, full name, address, and we'll get it shipped off to you. Super excited. Congratulations. Thank you for entering.
Now, does Doug have a laser already?
Yeah. All right, Doug. You gotta answer us the question. Do you already have a laser? Just wondering. Where you at, Dougie Doug? Now, Doug, remember the rules, okay? You have to subscribe to each one of our channels, and the bottom there shows our channels. You have to comment at least one video on each one of our channels. You have to have shared at least one video on each one of our channels. I will verify before I send it out. So if you have not done so, please do, because I would hate not to send it to you. That's all. Hey, but you know what? I want to say something to you guys. Man, thank you guys for doing this with me. And it's funny that you had said that, Steve, you look forward to this day. And I tell you what, man, I've been so fucking stressed from work and just everything that's going on. And I really do enjoy this time, man. And thank you.
You come here to unwind, right?
Yeah, you know, so thank you guys. I've really enjoyed it. And 30 lives seems like crazy. Like, really,
hang on, I now need to find out where Bob is from. Where is a 1.5 hour from Kingston? I know that area really well. He's gonna say like Bancroft or something.
Oh, he says I have a Viver 5-watt.
Viver, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Viver, however you want to say it, influencer as well.
Fulton. So he's not really a Canadian then.
He's right on.
Unlike Richard, who grew up in Kingston.
There you go. Yeah, nice one. Very cool. I'm super happy that somebody won that. That's very cool. Yeah, get started. Start making some stuff, and like we said, you'll never have one. If you have one, you have none. You know. So even if you end up getting a stronger laser or something, there's always something to be done. Thank you guys for everything you guys do for everyone. Yeah. Thank you, Clayton. Cool.
Hopefully we're providing some help, at least answering questions and sharing experience.
Absolutely. So now that we're asking where's everyone from, do us a favor and just let us know where you're from. Drop it in the comments. Let us know where you're joining us from. We have quite an international following, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Maybe what I should do is have a map on the back wall here with all the pins.
That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool, actually. That'd be kind of cool. And if it wasn't somewhere that someone said to add it to the pin, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Rick, when are you gonna do a fiber laser giveaway? When I outgrow the ones behind me. So the ones behind me, I have a 60-watt MOPA, and that's an OMG laser. That's the one on this side. And the other one is a Raycus 30-watt. So if I outgrow these guys, maybe I'll give them away, but there'd be some hours on them for sure. But I do want a 100-watt MOPA laser, and I also want a UV laser. And I want to use laser because I want to do. Man, Daniel, he brought out that big chunk of glass. What was like a 3D engraving inside. I want to do. And remember, my niche is memorial stuff.
Yeah.
So if I could do that chunk of glass, I think that would be phenomenal. So I've been talking with Rakis, and they basically want me to do like 4 or 5 more lasers, videos on their laser, and then the UV laser be on its way. But originally, I already fulfilled my obligations, and they kind of want a couple extra things. Yeah, they want a couple extra things, but yeah. So it's coming, I guess. Can't type well today.
I can't ever type well.
So Steve makes fun of me sometimes because we're down here doing our live. My wife's Canadian, and I'm like, man, I can smell the food. My mouth's watering. You know, she's like, of course, she can cook. She's Canadian, but today we got some Chicago style pizza, deep dish Chicago style pizza.
You're in near Chicago and you're having a Chicago style pizza? Yeah.
Roger, do you eat deep dish pizza?
I absolutely love Chicago style pizza. In fact, today we were going over to Davenport across the river, Davenport, Iowa, where they have an old Chicago style pizza, to discover that it was closed up and no longer there. So I was kind of disappointed, and ended up going to a place called Tangled Wood and had their bar pizza, which was still good. I mean, it's homemade. It's not like they took a tombstone and heated it up, but
right.
I was looking forward to the Chicago style deep dish. Yeah, I like it. And if I'm ever in Chicago, I definitely do go to Pizza Uno.
Yeah. So I went to Canada and I was like, this is pizza.
It depends where you go, right? It depends where. So the problem here is there's a billion pizza places, and half of them are terrible, right? You just have to.
Oh God! I mean, I know, like in the stateside, there's like a Chicago style. We have a style. We have the deep dish, but we have 2 styles in Chicago. We have that deep dish with a big fat meat patty on the top, but then we have that thin crust with no fat crust. They call it thin, no rim, like really thin crust pizza. And that kind of competes with the New York style pizza because they're similar. But New York, their pizza, their sauce is like orange, and our sauce is red.
Yeah, I don't like sweet sauce.
See, you go up to Detroit, you get a whole different kind of deep dish pizza up there, Detroit style.
Yeah.
So if I go to Detroit, I want hot wings.
In the area we live in, they have what's called the Quad City style, and it's if you watch, the different styles of the pizzas around the country, it's actually mentioned, and it's all because of this place called Harris Pizza. Oh, poutine pizza? No, I'll pass on that.
Yeah, tell me where you're getting that in Texas. I've never had anything like that, but I've had both of those, but not together.
Hold on, Doug was asking for my email address.
Yeah,
rick.ramirez@rickstwocents.com.
If you come to the East Coast where I live, they make these things called donaires, which are kind of like a shawarma with that weird mystery meat, whatever it is. But then they put this sweet garlic sauce on it, and it's like, I'd rather just have a shawarma. But they're very popular here.
So she said I make it myself. My brother, his wife owns a beauty salon, and he had asked me, hey, Rick, will you come out here, put a video surveillance system in for me? I built this badass RAID configuration, 8 terabyte, 32 camera system. Was like, I don't know, $6,500, right? And the whole thing was, he's a bricklayer. He's supposed to come out by me, build this brick oven pizza, and I'm like, dude, deal, Merrill, deal. He's like, I'll pay for you to fly by me, you cover the cost, and then you pay for me to fly by you, and I'll cover the cost. I'm like, solid, no problem. He got a divorce.
Oh no.
So Gina has
for a lot of reasons. Oh no.
Gina.
Hey, have you guys discovered butter tarts yet?
Butter tarts? What is
that? Yeah, I love them. And for every 2 I eat, it's another 30 minutes on the cross trainer.
So your wife will know what a butter tart is because they're French Canadian originally.
Okay. If you like poutine, you don't turn into pizza. You're missing out.
Yeah. So a butter tart is basically like a piece of pie crust in a muffin tray, and you level it with sugar, basically some kind of sugary maple something or other. It's just very sweet.
Yeah, if you're on a keto diet, you won't be eating them.
No, well, you could eat them, but you're probably going to die. Yeah, if you're anywhere close to an insulin pen, you're going to need one of those for sure.
Although nowadays people are using insulin pens just to lose the weight. They're not. They
Yeah.
don't even have diabetes. Pretty crazy.
Well, they're making it difficult for people who do, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Greek pizza's pretty good.
What?
I will apologize on behalf of all of Canada. The Hawaiian pizza, sorry.
My wife loves it. That's what she orders every time.
My wife loves it too, and I don't mind it. It's okay.
No, fruit does not belong on a pizza. Apparently, some dumb Canadian is responsible for that.
Well,
but he called it Hawaiian.
Here they use Canadian bacon and pineapple, so
yes, that's exactly what it's made from. Yep,
yeah.
Canadian bacon.
Well, it's officially pineapple and ham.
Right.
Right.
But it has to be Canadian bacon, though. Like,
well, yeah, I don't know what Canadian bacon is. We don't have that here, but
it's ham.
It's ham.
It's ham, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Waverly, Iowa.
Oh, not very far from me. Waverly's pretty close. I could drive there in about half an hour. Mac and cheese. I have had that.
Okay, so have you guys ever been to CC's Pizza?
No.
CC's Pizza is like an all-you-can-eat buffet. They're stateside. You pay like $15, and it's all you can eat. So if you ever wanted to try some crazy shit, like they got every pizza, macaroni. I mean, just everything you could ever imagine. They even have like pizza with like apple and cinnamon.
So the one pizza that I thought was that I've had that I thought was okay was feta cheese and pear. It was very different, but it was actually pretty good. Clayton, the guy from Hawaii, doesn't eat Hawaiian pizza.
Most disgusting pizza ever.
And I agree.
Pineapple on pizza is my least favorite too. So, or anchovies. Who likes anchovies on their pizza? That's just gross.
Hairy fish just don't do it for me. Any fish, really.
No, I'll do anchovies. I mean, that's why I like Caesar salad. That's why I like Caesar salad, the anchovies.
No, see, I love Caesar salad, but I asked, does it have anchovy sauce? And they're like, yeah, I'm gonna pass.
This one sounds like it could have potential. The s'mores pizza.
Nice one. Here. I'm in Buffalo, boy. Original wings and beef on wick. Yes. So when I went to visit Canada, I had to stop and get me some buffalo wings, some buffalo drums before I entered the Canadian border.
Or you crossed the border?
Yeah. And I would say that they're good, but I don't think they're any better than here.
Well, if you're ever in Nashville, make sure you get the Nashville chicken. That'll warm you right up.
So I signed up for that Chase credit card that gives you the some Marriott credit card that gives you the hotel miles. And I no longer I never pay any bill on a debit card. Every single one of my bills goes on that credit card. And as it works out, if you spend roughly about $4,000 a month, well, actually I spent probably that a week, but if you spend that about a month, it's one night a month or one night a week. So I stood in a Ritz-Carlton for free. It was like a $1,700 room for free. So I told my wife.
We do that with a Chase card, but with IHG, it's the Holiday Inn chain.
Yeah.
And everything in our greenhouse business runs through that card. Of course, we pay it off every month, so I don't have to pay any interest on it, but we get all those points. Right. We never pay to stay in a hotel.
Yep. So I told my wife, we need to start booking these trips like at least once a weekend, at least once a month. Let's just go somewhere. I want to go to Tennessee. So if you guys have any great places that we should visit, let me know. I'm gonna start traveling. I did this bucket list from Chicago to New York to Canada. That was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it.
Do you like country music? Because you can always go to Nashville.
Oh yeah, that's my wife and I have been down there several. We actually had our honeymoon in Nashville because we're big country music fans.
Go to Texas, get some barbecue.
So I'm Tejano. So when people ask me, "Where's your family from in Mexico?" I said, "McAllen, Texas." They say, "Where's your family in Mexico?" I say, "Brownsville." They say, "Where's your family from Mexico?" I say, "Arizona." "Where's your family from Mexico?" I say, "New Mexico." They're like, "I don't think you're understanding the question." I'm like, "I don't think you understand the answer." My family got our ass kicked and we still didn't leave. How's that say? The border changed. We're like, we're still staying.
Well, I'm Scottish, but I'm not from Scotland. I'm from Illinois.
Yes.
Oh, do
My-
any of you eat sushi? Well,
I
here we
do
use sushi for bait when we
Yeah.
fish it in the river.
I do not eat sushi.
No.
I don't eat fish in general.
Gross. Absolutely gross.
But I certainly, if I was going to eat fish, it would have to be cooked.
So
Although
since we-
last time I was in San Francisco, I did mistakenly eat some hors d'oeuvre that had tuna
fish?
on it,
Oh.
raw tuna, and
So-
it wasn't actually terrible. But it's just, I thought it was a piece of watermelon actually.
So I would say, since we brought it up, what is your guys' motivation for getting in a side hustle? Why are you doing it? Are you doing it to pull yourself out of debt? Are you doing it to have a guilty pleasure and buy yourself something you want? Are you doing it to pay for your kids' college? Are you doing it for just to build a little nest egg, put that money under the mattress? What is your reason to do it? Or do you just hate your day job? Like, oh,
Are you asking the crowd, or are you asking
I'm
us?
asking the audience. I already know
Oh,
you guys'
okay.
answer. I'm asking the audience. I know you guys' answer.
'Cause
But I think we're all at that point. Sometimes you get to the edge of the bed and you're like, how bad do I need this job? I need it. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I got old enough to take early retirement, so I technically not, but my boss wanted me to go to North Carolina one day, and I said, "No, I'm not going because I'm leaving." That was about 1.5 years ago.
Congratulations, V. So what's your full-time gig?
Hang in
You
there.
don't mind sharing. You don't mind me asking. Extra income. See, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the way the
hard to do.
boys could buy their toys. A little
Yep.
extra income.
Actually, I really don't sell enough to see a profit yet.
Hey,
Remember that
hang in
statement.
there. You will.
Yet.
Yeah, it'll come. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first couple of years you're building up your clients.
I do it first and foremost to share my love of woodworking and engraving. Secondly, for the loop. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Hobby and an income. I'm a quality control at automotive parts factory. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's why you need a side hustle, just something to be interested in.
But that just goes to prove too, like, just because of your full-time gig has none to always do. Like I say time and time again, when I got that lawyer email from a lawyer, I was like, uh-oh. It was like Rick Sue says lawyer firm, whatever.
Yeah, I've met some people that had really weird jobs too, and like not weird jobs, but weird jobs for somebody who wants to be a maker.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're a
and it's
lawyer,
like, what?
he's got $500,000 a year job, and he's like, yo, I want to make some shit with a laser. Like, all right, cool. You know what I mean?
Like I met a guy who's a chemical engineer, and he wanted a laser to do engraving. It's like, but you make chemicals for a better world, and it's like, yeah, I want to do something else.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's definitely therapeutic for sure. I work in high financing. Side hustle isn't going to take over my income anytime soon. I'm the same way.
But it's a distraction that helps you relax. Hopefully.
Yes.
You can feel the spring unwind.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Absolutely. So everyone has a rhyme and rhythm to why they're doing something, but I would say no matter what it is, it's 100% an outlet, right?
Yep. I certainly enjoy waking up in the morning a lot more now than when I actually did have a full-time job. Even though I make like a fraction, I do okay, but I make a fraction of what I was making in the real world.
It's a hobby. I haven't sold it yet. I give it away. That's cool.
And that's a good way to get started, actually.
Yeah, no kidding.
Put your logo on everything you make, and things you're not going to sell, give them away.
All right, HVAC. Have a good one, brother. Thank you for joining us every week. Thank you. You're a loyal subscriber. Appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, there you go. Money is not everything.
But it makes it a lot easier. You know what I say to people that say money's not everything? Then just send it to me. I'll give you my Zelle if you want.
But with money, you can buy yourself a boat. Then you can throw some more money into it. So yeah,
and just keep throwing.
Yeah.
Roger, 100% distraction for the 95.
Yep, it is absolutely. Before I retired, I was starting to dabble in this stuff, and it was literally a distraction from. I had an extremely high stress job, and Rick knows what I'm talking about because I was in the high voltage part of electrical distribution and protection, and for major worldwide corporations, traveled all over the world doing it, and the stress level was so high. I get home and go out in the garage, and even the wife knew not to talk to me for the first hour or two till I got out there and unwound some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. Go out in my shop for an hour before work and then an hour or two after work. And
Yep.
Yeah. So the other thing we talked about doing, we haven't done, is we talked about possibly doing a project and showing.
Yeah.
So I would say if there's anything that anyone was struggling with, now keep in mind that Steve said early on that each one of our skill sets overlap, right? Whenever you say there's a company that says 125 years experience, it's not they've been in business 125 years. It's a combined experience of 125 years. So what you're looking at here is a combined experience for a very wide variety of different lasers and a lot of trial and errors. Like, so we're here to help you because we beat our head against the wall enough. We're trying to save you from doing that. So if there's really something you're struggling with, let us know. And either if it's too long, like Roger recently made that tile video, you can make a video to kind of go in depth, or if it's something that's not too in depth, that we can actually maybe do it on our live. I think that'd be really cool.
And I do have a setup where I can set up a remote camera on a laser. I just haven't done it yet. I haven't had time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can do that in the future.
I'm actually, I still have it sitting in a tab in my browser here. I'm ready to pull the trigger on a new camera and move another camera back out into my shop, at least part-time, so I can actually do things out there during this. But it's expensive, so I'm waiting.
Yeah.
It's like, no, not yet. I got to go for a walk.
I got one of those too. And I got one of those too in the shopping cart.
What I need is somebody on this, somebody who joins this live stream from Sony, and I would happily sign a contract with Sony.
So I would say this. Hey, look, if any manufacturer is watching that has to do with studio equipment, send us a message. Let us know.
Well, with me, it'd have to be Panasonic because I have got GH4, GH5, GH6 video cameras around here. So if Panasonic wanted to do something, yeah, I'd probably sign a contract with them too.
Yeah, this camera, the one I use for my live stream, is the same one I use for my videos, and it's a Sony FX3, which is definitely not a cheap camera. But so I'm looking at a FX30, which is the same camera, but it's an APS version, so small sensor.
So I use Insta360 for all my normal videos, but for this, I've been using my MacBook Pro webcam. So
yeah,
it's not the greatest.
Well, I like the name of this business here, Cheaper Than Therapy. That's a good title.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My wife and I do both crafting. She does leather products, and I do 2 lasers. Our little side business is called Cheaper Than Therapy. We do it to relax. Exactly the point.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly the point.
And the name is amazing.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. I got my kids into building products and selling in their teens. That's how I made their summer money. And I got hours of time with my kid. That's what I do with my son, little Ricky. Yeah.
I started out with some of my grandsons when they were younger and teaching them how to build birdhouses. And one of them is still doing it.
So my son got sponsored by Nike, and I'm not supposed to say that, but I don't think they watch my videos. But he got coined for when I asked him, Ricky, can we do this? He's like, we got this. And then it just went crazy. And then they sent me a message, and I was like, there's so many scams when it comes to, and we talk about this too, sponsorships. I didn't think it was really Nike. And I'm like, look, man, if you email me from Nike.com, we can talk. Otherwise, I'm not engaged in the conversation. I got an email from Nike.com, and all right.
Well, Sony, if you're out there.
Exactly. Hello.
Yeah, I don't. It's like, I mean, somebody asked about getting a realistic first laser. Same thing on YouTube, right? Getting a realistic first camera. This is my second YouTube camera. Well, actually, my third, because I did shoot a bit on my phone for a while, but they get bigger and bigger in price, right? And
Yeah.
it's now I want to go to a 2-camera. Like, I have 2 video recorders, so I want to put a second camera so that if I have to do crazy cuts where I stumble over something, I can just flip to the other camera, and it looks more natural. But I would also want to use that camera in the studio to do live project stuff.
I'll have to set a camera up behind me one of these times here so you can see everything that's that way. The lighting and the camera stands and the monitors and the video switcher, the soundboard. I mean, it's all.
Steve has one of those for his OnlyFans, but it's a different kind of view.
Yeah, well, that's a very different camera. Yeah, that one's waterproof.
The silver fox is always that.
Yeah, I should put a camera back here too, because like this whole wall is basically lights and cameras and stuff, right? So it's
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions?
Somebody's got some questions. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's cool seeing the same people showing up, and we kind of shoot the shit, so to speak, and happy Hump Wednesday, and get over the hump and laugh, enjoy a few beers. I actually really enjoy these lives. So
it's a good. Like I just before this started, I was ready to fall asleep, and it's like, oh, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, pretty cool.
For people who have, I don't know, are there people out there who use like VCarve or Aspire? Because I've been playing this week in, I'll say, my infinite spare time, but just in a panic moment, I started playing in the newest version of VCarve. They added inlay support.
Okay.
It's like one click inlay. So you drop your image or whatever you want to engrave into inlay on your CNC, and you push a button and it does both. Like you say, I have 2 pieces of material. One is, whatever, my base maple, say, and the other one's walnut. And it'll do both sides of the thing, the plug and the hole, in one shot. And you don't have to think about it. It's so easy. I'm thinking of doing a video on it just for my own satisfaction, because it used to be hard. It used to be hard to do inlay, but now it's literally a couple of clicks.
I keep wanting to say Bobby's World just because of the cartoon, but Bobby's
yeah, that's what I keep.
Okay,
Bob, you need to put that in. That needs to be your logo is Bobby from Bobby's World.
I could use a resource for tumblers.
And I will give you an absolute fantastic one. And I'm not sponsored by them. I buy them, 10 cases at a time generally, because they have some fantastic sales. That's Stainless Steel Depot. The Stainless Steel Depot, and the brand name on them is like Hog. Let me see if I can pan this camera over there. And down. Right there. There's 4 cases of them right there.
JDS is not a bad deal either, but JDS is, you're paying a little bit of a premium price, but they're pretty consistent. Because I know, like, you go on some of these Facebook groups, you can buy them factory direct from China. The problem with buying it factory direct from China is that I don't think you're buying it factory direct. I think they're price shopping, buying bulk, and reselling it. So sometimes the first and second shipment is the same, the third and fourth is not, because they're price shopping as well. So buying something stateside is probably a better buy.
I will say, well, like I said, I'm not sponsored by Marine. That's just where we buy our tumblers and mugs. I have never, ever had a problem. And we have bought thousands of dollars worth of them from there. And if you hit them when they're doing their sales, I mean, sometimes you get free shipping. Sometimes you buy 3 cases, get the 4th one free. There's all kinds of things you can do there. And if you get on their email list, they have specials 2 or 3 times a week.
Stainless Steel Depot and JDF. Did you say JDS? JDS.
Yeah, Stainless Steel Depot is where I buy all of ours.
And keep in mind that when you are trying to become profitable, that sourcing your consumables or your items, like that's the biggest part of the profit most of the time, right?
Give me a second and I'll come up with a link here.
Yeah. So to be honest with like Roger sharing his source, like at the end of the day, that's something he can hold to his chest, not want to share because, that's part of his profit margin. So yeah, and JDS, keep in mind that you cannot see any of their prices unless you register. And you do not need a tax ID number, but it's not a open website. It's not a public. You have to register to become a member, but you do not need a tax ID. And the other thing that's cool about JDS is they own like every laser you could imagine. So if you call them and are like, hey, I'm having a problem, they may pull the laser out and like go do it with you, which is pretty cool because nobody else will do that. I mean, they'll sell you anything in the world, but they're just selling you a blank. But they are uniquely selling to people with lasers. So that's pretty cool. They'll give you like a template where you should start at, give you some ideas. Yep, there you go.
Right
The
there.
Stainless Steel Depot company. Check her out, people. Hey, if you guys actually order something, do us a favor and send them an email and say, hey, Roger's shop sent me. We were on the live and, I made an order. Let them know that he sent you.
Yeah, they might appreciate it. Like I say, we do a lot of business with them. My granddaughter does a lot of business with them. In fact, a lot of times we'll combine our orders and then we'll get them by the pallet because I have a forklift, and generally get free shipping when you buy that quantity. And we'll buy a pallet of them and then we'll split them.
Nice. Yeah.
Plus you get to play with your forklift.
Pardon?
I said, plus you get to play with your forklift.
Oh, yeah. 1950 tow motor. I'll have to put a picture of that up sometime. Even truck drivers look at that and go, God, how old is that thing? I mean, there's no roll cage on it. It's so far from OSHA approved that it works.
So, Roger, funny story about forklift. So Roger and I are linemen. So they call us out in an emergency and we go in this room and it's just like reels and reels and reels, right? And we locate the reel because they tell you how long, 30,000 feet, 40,000 feet, whatever, do the repair. And we're standing there like it's 2:30 and we're like, what are you guys doing? Well, we're not a warehouse worker. That's another union job, right? Somebody has to come and move the reels so you can load it on a reel cart and take off. Well, guess what they did? We all became forklift certified.
Rick, I've got a question for you. I want to know if you've ever done this, and I have done it once. Have you ever slid a pole?
Define slid a pole.
Where your gaffs broke loose and you slid the pole.
Yes.
And where did you get your slivers?
My legs.
Well, I had them in places besides my legs.
I actually had to have somebody climb up and retighten my right foot because they became loose. And they climbed up behind me, retightened up my footing, and then I was able to climb down and climb fine. But the other thing that happened to me is that, man, I was pretty much crying one day. And a friend of mine said to me, Ephraim, hey, Rick, you always kick your boots. I bet you broke the belts, the bottom of your boots. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, you always kick your boots to kick the dirt off. And I had a insulated pair that I'd wear in the wintertime. And the next day I wore insulated boots and I climbed like there was nothing going, no business. And I was like, oh man, I broke the metal band in the boot. So I was feeling the
shank in the boot.
Yeah.
Well, I slid about 20 feet before I could kick out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had crescent slivers are no fun, especially in the more private areas.
Yeah, we call it gaffing out. Yeah, if you gaff out, like, poof.
This is why I'm glad I was an engineer. You hardly ever get a splinter when you're writing code.
I didn't have to do a whole lot of pole climbing, but in my younger days, we did a lot of farm work, and every farm had a yard pole. And the only way to get up there, this is before everybody had bucket lifts and everything, you'd have to climb the poles.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's just easier, especially in rear easement and all that. You have to put plywood down so it destroys someone's grass and it gets all pissed off. Steve, you say you make one of everything. Is your business, what is it?
Well, it's product centric, but it's all custom stuff. Like I don't make. It's rare for me to make more than one of something. It's usually a customer says, "Hey, I've got this thing, or this idea, and I want it made."
And a way to break into that is, and I do a lot of custom stuff too. It's word of mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't advertise it. It's just word of mouth.
Yeah,
But
I don't advertise usually, and I mean a lot of people come to me through my channel, but it's usually something I ask because I'll get somebody from Australia and I'll say, "How the heck did you hear about me?" And it's like sometimes it's from the channel, sometimes it's they have a friend in North America somewhere who I did something for.
But Steve, I would say from at least watching your videos and watching some things you make, you're also combining like different abilities, right? Like you're not just based on just purely a CNC. You're not just based on purely a laser.
And that's because you'll find if as you use a laser for a long enough time, it's rare for someone to say, "Hey, I just want 50 of these engraved." Sometimes it happens, like I did several hundred watch bands, but usually it's something that requires both, right, or multiple tools.
So is the customer bringing you products to engrave versus you providing an engraved custom, or both?
Sometimes it's both.
Yeah, I've had it both ways. I just recently did for a veteran's funeral, the flag case. You get the triangular case they put the flag in. They wanted the end of that case engraved with the person's name and their dates of service and their birth date and death date. And of course, that's something like that I would never do a video on. That's private, but we did that custom for someone.
Yeah.
So before I got into
that's what I do too.
Before I got into lasers, I was more like business starters. So you're a new company to start. I would help you set up your domain, I help you build your website, help you create your logo, give you shirts, business cards, flyers. That was my niche, and I did woodworking on the side. And my father was a carpenter, so I liked doing that kind of thing. I wanted a laser, but then YouTube gave me an opportunity to get into laser, and then that's when I started kind of shifting the roles. My wife actually got kind of mad because I was so deeply involved in the apparel industry that I kind of really started going into this type of direction. But I enjoy it.
And we still do a lot of custom T-shirts, and I do not advertise it, but we do both HTV and sublimation, and we do a lot of T-shirts for, let's say somebody's going on a cruise and they want a T-shirt for everybody in their family, and they all want it to say the same thing. It's the Joneses Family Cruise 2024 and whatever ship it's on, and so I've done quite a few things like that.
Yeah, I do DTG, DTF, and sublimation. So most people want me to do the video. They like to show their friends how it was made.
Yeah, and I've had people say this too, right? And it's just, I mean, it doesn't take any extra effort, right? You just point a camera at something and turn it on. But yeah, it's people like, I mean, part of it is the thing is handmade, right? Well, handmade with tools, but it's not something you can go down to a shop and buy. So people do like to kind of see it being built.
Yeah.
And so, I have people who come into the shop and watch while I do something. It's like I'll say, "Hey, tomorrow I'm working on your thing," and they'll come and record it while I sit there and we have a coffee and have a chat, right? So I mean, whatever. It doesn't cost me anything if they want to come and watch a CNC go back and forth.
Yeah. There's this new laser. It's called the Aurora Light, and it's funny. We keep talking. Have you guys heard about it?
No.
So we went back and forth on the Class 1 versus Class 4, right?
Yeah.
Because and if you guys don't know what the difference is, basically the long short version is that it's enclosed, right?
Yeah.
And this Aurora Light, it's a fiber laser with an enclosure.
So kind of like an F1 Ultra then, without the diode laser.
But on steroids.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 200 pounds. It's like a major laser. So
yeah, it's
so
like
the-
an industrial laser.
yes,
Yeah.
but what I could see it is we keep talking about like me, nobody comes to my house. Like you come to my house to pick it up, but you're not coming in here. You're not coming out of my basement. You know,
Yeah.
very rarely, very rarely. But it's like Roger with the trade show thing, and we're talking all that. Like we had something like that. Like that was almost like an attraction itself. Like it's just running. People are gonna come
Yeah.
watch it. You know,
Well,
you did it.
I think in part that's why things like the F1 and F1 Ultra are popular at craft fairs, right?
Right.
Like they bring a crowd.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people are fascinated with that stuff. I've briefly talked to my granddaughter once about maybe taking one of the Class 1 lasers with to one of her shows if I ever have time, and do some custom engraving stuff there and probably drum up some business for her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely, if I was going to do it in public, it'd be a Class 1.
Yeah, it has to be.
Right.
You live in a litigious society, so
Oh yeah,
you know.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of a sudden, someone's suing you because their kids' eyes cross-eyed. You know.
Okay, and if somebody doesn't know the difference between a Class 1 laser and a Class 4, the Class 4 laser is open. You can actually see the beam. A lot of the ones now have shields around the laser head, but you still get refracted light. You still need to wear protective eyewear, even though some of them say you don't, you do. A Class 1 laser, everything is enclosed. If you would open the lid, it'll shut off.
So if you put an enclosure on a Class 1, doesn't make it a Class 4.
No, if just putting an enclosure on a Class 4 does not make it a Class 1. Not by any means.
So the key point, what he said is, it has to stop when you open the lid.
Yeah. Yeah, you need all of the safety features as well as keeping the light in there.
Okay, so but we all started on Class 1s, right?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't so companies still ask me about them. You know, can you review this? But I don't do Class 4 lasers anymore.
I've turned down so many.
Yeah, it's
reviews
just
of
like,
insane.
you know, the time has come, right, to start making these things safe. So especially once they start making like 60 and 70 watt diode lasers, right? If it's not a Class 1 laser, forget it,
Yes.
right? It's not coming into my shop.
I mean, even my goggles, my safety goggles, are made for that wavelength. They're orange. They're OD7 plus. So if you get up to a 60, 70 watt laser, that they may not even be adequate for that.
No.
So we briefly talked about this before, that, you know, should your glasses be green? Should your glasses be orange? And on a fiber laser, could they technically be clear? Or do you need to go above and beyond and get the Darth Vader glasses that Roger has?
Like full face goggles.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I wear the full goggle because I wear prescription glasses, and if I can see a distance just fine. But if I'm trying to read something, being 67 years old, that don't work anymore. So I got to have these glasses on. That's why I have the goggles. They fit over my glasses completely, and they're comfortable.
Yeah. When I worked in industrial lasers, that's all you ever wore was full face goggles.
Oh, yeah.
So do you want to explain the difference between orange and green?
Orange is the opposite of blue. If you talk to an optometrist, orange is the proper color for a blue laser.
Yeah.
Green and red is kind of so-so. But them cheesy send with the lasers, to me, they're just junk.
So this is an interesting. I think I saw the same video this past week where there's like two guys standing in front of a fiber laser, and the guy is like got his face right in there, and it's like an open fiber laser, right? So no goggles, no glasses, no anything. It's like, holy cow. So the thing about so fiber lasers are 1064 nanometer, 1.06 micron, and that particular wavelength of light has a nasty habit of perfectly focusing onto the back of your eye through your lens in your eye. So it's a particularly bad frequency for not wearing safety glasses. I attest to this truthfully, because it turns out I actually have when I worked in industrial lasers, I took a hit on the back of my eye, even though I was wearing goggles, but it's one of these things that just happens, right? You don't feel it, you don't see it, And
so you
an
want to explain
optometrist found it by accident one day and said, "How come you got this spot in your eye where you don't see anything?" It's like, okay.
So you confidently say blue laser, but do you want to explain the difference between what is considered a blue laser versus what is, the difference between diode and a fiber?
Well, all the diode lasers, or most of the diode lasers out there, are 450 nanometer blue lasers. That's what's the general market is, a consumer market is. And there again, orange is the opposite of blue if you look on a color chart. And when I put those orange goggles on, yes, I can see there's light there, but it is not bright. I can still see that there's a beam, but it's not bright at all. And it's just a little kind of orange looking stripe. That's all you see.
So
And
I've
if
been
you're,
guilty.
I'll
I've
add
been
too, if you're engraving on a mirror or any type of glass, you absolutely, even if the laser is shielded, you need to have glasses on because that blue light refracts all over the place.
Yeah,
And it
especially
can,
through glass. The
yeah.
mirror surface itself isn't so bad. It's the actual glass. All the two surfaces on the glass will reflect blue light like crazy.
I'm the goofball who still wears glasses even with a classroom laser. Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing wrong
Yeah,
with that.
not wrong with that at all.
No. Yeah. So I especially make my son wear them, even when he's just running around the shop, because I don't know at any point he's looking up or whatever. So it's just a ritual. You coming downstairs? Yep. You need to have shoes on. It's like your PPE check. You can't have socks. You gotta have shoes on. You gotta wear your glasses. And he knows.
Oh yeah, it all boils down to common sense. It's just like they say, don't fry bacon naked. There's reasons for that.
I've done that.
This is way too much information for me.
Hey, I married a Canadian. She loves bacon. What can I say?
Now I actually feel like going and staring into a laser because I can't unsee this anymore.
I want to thank you guys again for the opportunity to win a machine as well as information you share with us. Doug, man, I'm happy. And, I always say, Lord bless me so I can bless others in your name. So God bless.
And as you can tell, all that information is useful. Now I know to always put clothes on when I'm going to fry bacon.
Okay, I'm going to throw a little message out there to Doug. Since you have that O'Farrell, that's an LM2, right? Yeah, okay. Depending on the firmware, if you happen to have one that every time you turn it on, it's locked.
I already fixed that.
There's a video on my channel on how to undo that.
Yeah, when I first got that happen, I changed the G code so it didn't do that.
Yeah, you have to change G code.
Yeah.
Yep.
The initialization code.
Yep, it was basically in lock mode.
Yeah.
Yep. So they didn't even help me. I found that on YouTube somewhere else.
Well, it might have been on my channel. I did a specific video about that.
Yeah, it may have been. I was like, "Hey guys, this doesn't work." What do you mean? And I was just like, "It doesn't work." And the G code, I typed it in, boom, then it worked fine. But yeah.
I don't remember what number it is, but yeah, I did a detailed video on how to get around that.
It may have been. I was searching, and then I found the G code command and worked like a charm.
Yep.
But why would you ship something like that? I have no clue.
Because it's all about volume for those guys, right? Like, how many of these can we sell before people think it's stupid and want to go to buy some other laser, right?
Nice, Steve.
See you, Steve.
Thanks for joining.
Like, this is the sad part about the industry is it's time for some consolidation so that there's not 1,000 laser companies. Like, I mean, I have this vision of like little offices in Chinese factories where there's like two guys putting these things together, right? And it's just so you can't control any of that, right? It's just so well, like every week Rick talks about Roger talks about a new laser that I've never heard of, but apparently they've been making lasers for 5 years, right?
Oh yeah, my latest one is a MechPow. It's going to be a class 1, and come September you'll see a assembly and review of it. Isn't here yet, but when they first offered to send me another laser, and I've done reviews of Mechpel lasers before, it's a good product, but I'm like, if it's a class 4, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Well, this is our newest class 1. It's 22 watt, and that's a good midpoint for a starter, and it's not real expensive. That'd be a good beginner laser. Yeah, send it on, and I'll check it out. And
So
no contract.
So I would say no, no, no. I would just say no, 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 no. And Steve, you helped me truth, brother. You said, hey, you can't just do 60 watt lasers. Hey, you can't just do 40 watt lasers because not everyone can afford a 60 watt, 40 watt lasers. And I was like,
so the video I'm working on right now is for fiber lasers, but it's entry level, right? So I'm actually going to look at the F1 Ultra, which is granted a high end entry level, but it's there. And the Commarker B4, basically say, why would you want one of these versus the other? Certainly price is one reason you might want the B4, but if you want class 1-ness, then you want the F1 Ultra, right? So I'm doing that laser now, that video now. So that'll be the next one coming out.
So because
and it's because like that's probably the first fiber laser someone's going to buy, right? Something like that, a 20 watt. And it's all budget, right? Like you can pick up a B4 for I think $1,600 right now.
Right.
That's not bad for a 20 watt fiber laser.
Right. And because of what you said, kind of maybe, and I'm not trying to get like to my horn, but like, oh, I'm better than that. You know, I made it to a certain level. I want to achieve the higher end models, but you know, you have to at the same point, do something for your following. So
yeah, and that's the thing. Like I've reviewed lots of lasers that it's not that I think they're terrible or I'm above them. It's just that for the workflow that I use, those lasers just won't work in my shop because I do things that are just they'll run for 8 hours, right? Those kind of lasers are really hobby lasers.
So I would say this: any laser that review that I will do going forward, hold me truthful to this, but I'm not going to personally use or keep. I'm just going to give it away.
Yeah, and that's most of the lasers that I've ever reviewed are now in someone else's hands, donation, or I've supported a couple of vets, lots of people who've retired and they just say, hey, I don't want to go insane, I need something to do. Those kind of people.
Yeah. If I use one of my diodes, I put on the honeycomb inside my 80 CO2 to enclose it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
I run lots of diode lasers inside my CO2 laser.
That's one hell of an expensive enclosure. I would say just buy an enclosure. You can buy a canvas, something.
Yeah, but it's real estate too, right? That's the problem.
Or you can get one of them orange enclosures from Great Carve that's like IKEA and spend 8 hours putting nuts and bolts in.
That's the problem. It's a project to put together.
Yeah.
My first fiber was a 30 watt. You could do some cool projects with it, but I quickly upgraded to 100 watt.
Yeah.
100 watt is.
But that's the thing. You know that when you buy something, it's not going to be the last one you buy.
Right. So I have a 30 and a 60. So to me, a 30 is good for scribing, right? So if you have like dog tags, things like that, you want to bring it off, tumblers, things like that, perfect, 100%. You don't need more than that at all. But a 60 watt, like you want to do challenge coins, things like that.
Oh, there's your opportunity. Where's that challenge coin?
Oh, you know I got it in my back pocket. So
there could be somebody on the planet who hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, here we go.
I
wasn't even doing it for that. But.
It's a nice coin.
There you go, guys.
I think you should patina that a little bit. Make another one and make it one that's aged.
It is. It's just really hard to show in this crap.
No, it's very shiny. It looks like a trophy.
You see the black to it though?
Yeah.
In there, it's got some patina.
Yeah, but it's shiny. It looks like you've been carrying it around in your back pocket.
So yeah, Clay, he has it in his pocket.
Yeah,
there are people already know. People know. I keep it in my left pocket at all times. So at the back it says, the winds blew, the lines flew, out came the line crew. And at the front it says IBW Local 9.
All right, we're winding down.
We got 1 minute left to our live. I think we had a good live, but we didn't
was
have
fun.
a whole lot of. I didn't have a whole lot of questions today, but I think we just enjoyed each other's company. Everyone kind of laughing and having a good time on our live.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gave away a good, cool laser. Someone start in the laser subscribing. So cool. I say it was success.
I think so.
Yeah. So it's 8:30. It's our time. I just want to say thank you guys for joining us, and I appreciate our lives continue to grow. Again, we're always open to questions. If for some reason you don't have the courage to speak up, you're always welcome to email us at any point in time, and we'll always answer when we get a chance to, of course. Just please be patient because, of course, we do get flooded with emails at times. And if you have any, I keep saying, any ideas or anything you'd like us to do while we're doing the live, any project you need help us, please let us know because we are looking for something that we could do within the timely manner of our live. But that'll be all for me. But you guys want to say something and close out?
I don't know what I'd say. I do. Steven's left already, but I am working on that dart box, and I'll bring it. Hopefully, I can get it done next week, and I'll bring it and show people. And who knows? Maybe we can give some of those away too.
I'm also working on Steven's custom tile, but whether or not I get it done before I go to Mexico, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
So
in any case, you can see me next week from Playa del Carmen, Mexico.
Sweet. So yeah, so Steven is basically outsourcing all of his work to us, and
Yeah.
that's the right way to start a business. Don't do any work, just do the sales.
Yeah.
Logan, I've been in PA quite often lately, doing some keeping the lights on, so to speak.
Okay, well, I'll see everybody next week from Mexico.
Safe trip, man.
Thanks for watching, guys. God bless.
Thanks all.